Welcome to TraxTalkSports. I'm Willie Jones, your host. We give athletes and fans a platform to share their sports experience. Our guest today, former Farmville Central football and basketball player, Mr. Tricky Finch. How you doing this morning, Mr. Finch?
I'm doing great. I don't really have a lot of bad days, so I'm doing good.
Yeah, this is a good day. We're happy to have you on the show. And first thing I want to do is, just get you comfortable, with the whole process. So just sit back and relax, because I know you have a story to tell. So with
Uh,
that, the first question is, what's your story?
uh, well, my story is pretty simple, man. I'm just a guy that grew up in a small town of Farmville and try to find another way to do the right thing. So my story is basically I at an early age of joining the military to try to do something different. Of course, I played basketball in high school. Um, Graduated in '99. From there, moved joined the military. Spent 20 years active service in the military. Retired in 2019, and then came back to Farmville to open a couple of businesses and try to do a lot with the community and just trying to find my way.
Well, we all the same story. High school also, so that
That's
was
right.
a great experience for me too.
Oh yes.
What are you looking forward to?
Right now, like I said, I got my businesses off the ground running. I still work. Um, right now, I'm just looking forward to opportunity. Um, just being able to give opportunities to do bigger and better things. I have a couple business ideas that I want to pursue, but it takes opportunity. Firsthand that I own a hair nail salon, and it's about giving someone an opportunity. Because you just never know where people are in their life, and an opportunity could. So I'm thankful to be in a position where I can give people opportunities, and I'm also looking for opportunities.
Right. Um, what's the best thing that's happened to you this year?
This year, wow, this year, I would say the best thing that happened to me this year was to learn more about me, coming into this world of business after retirement. Um, sometimes you can hit bumps in the road, and you may not think that what you're doing is the right thing. But the more you do things, the more you persevere, and you understand that anything is possible. So
Right.
for me, it's just that.
Yeah, that was a good answer. They're trying to get out there, find their niche,
Oh yes,
and when you do, it's just an ongoing process.
right. And I think a lot of times with people, they because we're human, so we're really quick to point the finger at somebody else, and we can always tell you what somebody else is doing wrong, how someone else is treating us wrong, and how someone is doing things the wrong way. But very seldom do you hear a person look in the mirror, see a person look and put themselves first and give themselves the first opportunity to fix their problem. And I think sometimes, well, most times if you do that, a lot of times you'll find the answer.
How can we be the most helpful to you?
Uh, and I think just listen. Just listen. I think that a person that the most help you can get when a person receives things, because if a person doesn't listen to you, then they can't help you. They can't help if they don't hear what you're saying.
Right.
Feeling what you're saying, the passion that you give off when you're speaking to people. If you're passionate about what you're saying, and it'll make people listen.
Right.
Because if it seems like you're coming off and you're just talking, you're gonna tune the person out real fast. But if you passionate,
Mm-hmm.
you make people listen to you by being passionate about what you're doing and what you're saying. So, I think just listening helps me. It helps anyone. But I think the person that's trying to get the message across, it's very important for that person to understand how to get the message across
Mm-hmm.
when they're delivering information, because that's key, and it's big.
Right. Right. Um, who is your favorite sports hero?
My favorite sports. Now this probably going to surprise some people, right? Um, my favorite basketball. I would say my favorite basketball player. I would say I kind of try to pattern my game after him from a little guy.
Uh-huh.
It's Gary Payton.
Yeah, he's a
Gary
good one.
Gary Payton he's always been my guy, because me growing up playing basketball, I always was the smallest guy. I
Uh-huh.
always was the smallest guy on the court, the smallest guy on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find out early that I had to find a way um, to stay on the basketball court,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't going to be me scoring 30 points a game, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned early. Someone taught me way to make them keep you on the basketball court. It doesn't have to be scoring. It doesn't have to be rebounding, but some way you have to make it hard for them to take you out the game.
Uh-huh.
And for me, Gary Payton was like a defensive. He was a defensive guy. Like he trash talk. He played defense. He intimidated a lot of people, and I love that about him. And so, in growing up, I always try to pair my game out to him defensively, and just you know what, if I'm gonna score 30 points a game, then maybe I could lead the team in steals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that. So I always like Gary Payton, even for my son. Like I show him a lot of highlights of Gary Payton, because this one shoot the ball, just shoot.
Right.
And I try to tell him, hey, if you steal the ball enough, you get enough layups.
Right. Yeah, I know it. I know you played football also.
Yeah, I played a little
You
football, not as much as basketball. I did play a little bit of football growing up. And football, as you can see in the background, my favorite team is the
right.
Buffalo Bills. I'm a
Buffalo. Yeah.
I'm a diehard Bills fan, man. It's ridiculous. You see, my whole room is Bills, man.
Right.
I'm a diehard fan.
Uh-huh.
My favorite football player is Andre Reed.
Okay.
Andre Reed is my favorite football player. Growing up in the projects in Farmville, in the backyard, I was always
Uh-huh.
Andre Reed.
Well, Andre Reed, I know he appreciate you being a fan of his.
Right. I'm a big time Andre Reed fan. I actually met him in person
Uh-huh.
when I was stationed in California in the military, and I was
Mm-hmm.
to a fair. It was like the local fair. Yep. I was. It probably was weird to him, because I was walking, and I looked, and I was like, man, that look like Andre Reed. Fair, it's not like a big time like fair. It can't be him in a small little fair like this. So then I doubled back, And I was like, "Sir, excuse me, I don't want to try to be, in your business and nothing like that, but are you Andre Reed?" He was like, "I am." I was like, "Man." And then it was like this little kid in me, right, was like, "I'm your
Right.
biggest fan." I'm like, "I'm your biggest fan." So we ended up taking a picture. I still have that picture to this day, up in my attic. I got a picture of him, and I hang it up from time to time
Uh huh.
in my workspaces and stuff like that. Yep.
Right. Um, as far as coaching, um, the work that goes into, like you were mentioning basketball and defense and Peyton being your favorite player. Um, and I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into playing,
Absolutely.
a mindset you have to have, to really be a good defensive player. I know you had to have had some good coaching.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, coaching is a big deal. And when you're in the moment, right? When you're in the moment, you're that kid. Whether it's in middle school, whether it's in high school, whether it's just some midget league or some kind of just tournament, you don't really understand the value of the coaching because you're young. You really don't. You're just worried about going out there scoring points and winning basketball games. So you don't value the teaching points in coaching at that moment. I think when life starts to happen for you, you
Uh
start to
huh.
realize how much those little things matter. So I do have a story about coaching, right? So I don't tell a lot of people this story.
We want
Just
to hear it. We
yeah.
want to hear this story.
Well, I don't tell a lot of people about it, but I do tell a lot of people about it. So it's kind of contradicting because, of course, I served in the military for 20 years, right? And I tell this story to a lot of people that don't even know um, the best coaches of all time, I think, which is Ronald and Donald Reed. And for people that don't know, Ron and Donald Reed was they're big time pioneers of
Well, yeah.
yeah, big time pioneers of the city of Farmville and Pitt County as a whole. And
Hmm.
they also played football at ECU right here in Greenville.
Right.
And I had the luxury of knowing those gentlemen since I was playing basketball at the age of like 8, 9 years old in midget league in Farmville. And I tell a lot of people in the military that's throughout that don't even know these guys a story. And so I joined the military at 18. And once I got in there, of course, you go to boot camp. And while I was in boot camp, it came easy for me. It
Uh
came
huh.
easy for me, and I don't think it was because of I was just athletic or because I probably could run fast, but I think it was more so of my determination and work ethic.
Hmm.
And for me, I grew up in my household with all girls. My mom and my two sisters. That was it. My household. Um, my mom did the best job she could do to raise a boy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put that past. You know what I mean? But those two gentlemen at a young age taught me something that I never got taught before.
Hmm.
And that was what work ethic looked like. And in the moment, I don't know. But those guys um, did something for me. Those are the first male figures in my life that really told me, no, son, you're gonna do things this way.
Hmm.
And I never had anyone besides my mom, which is a woman, to tell me
Right.
anything different. So when we started getting those practices in, I kind of struggled in the beginning because I didn't understand. I
Hmm.
didn't understand in the beginning, and they just teaching me. It wasn't even about teaching me basketball.
Uh huh.
It was teaching me life and life expect and what's going to happen. 20 years down the line. So when I got in boot camp, the stuff came easy for me just because of how those gentlemen instilled certain things in me at a young age through basketball.
Hmm.
Just through basketball, a lot of times we would be in practice and we wouldn't even shoot a basketball.
Hmm.
It was life lessons, and a lot of things that they taught us in answering questions. We would ask a basketball question and we'll get a life lesson in the answer. And in the moment, again, you don't understand that. You're in ninth grade. You're like, what is this guy talking about, man? We trying to do basketball. We trying to play basketball. We ain't shot the ball the whole practice.
Right.
And you don't get it. So coaching is a big deal, and I tip my hats to those gentlemen. I probably never told them that, but they've been a big inspiration in my life and the way that I do things now, whether it's handling kids. When I coach basketball, I pull everything that I got from those guys. I pull everything I got from those guys, and and it works, because
Yeah.
this.
I can relate to everything you're saying, because I'm a single. I had a single parent mother,
Right.
and she raised 11.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, she raised 11 of us, and you know, and even with the question about coaching, is good to have, people around you
Right.
to guide you, you know,
Absolutely.
and you've heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and that is so true.
It is.
Having Donald and Ronald there, to kind of guide you, I know that means a lot to you.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In general, and just in life, I think. This is just me. I'm not saying this is gold. This is just my opinion. I think that. Well, I know that. I'm not gonna say it's just my opinion. I know for sure that in life, when you travel this journey and
Hmm.
you're gonna hit stumps, you have to have the right people around you. Like
Hmm.
it's not even an option. If you're gonna have people around you, they have to be the right people,
Hmm.
and you have to understand that everybody that's around you probably shouldn't be around you. I tell my daughter that it should be a privilege, and it's not to sound cocky, but it should be a privilege to be around you.
Hmm.
Like people should value the fact that you're in their circle.
Hmm. And
Um,
you're doing a lot of good things. I mean, that I've heard about. You keeping the community active. With
right, right,
activities.
right,
Uh, with kickball.
right.
Yeah, kickball for one. And that's how a community thrives. You,
Oh
you have
yes.
to have you have to have that support.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
And
have
and,
to
and it's
have
just.
commitment.
Oh yeah, and that's a little. And those things, it may seem small, but those are
Mhm.
big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to be able to, that idea. I put two kickball tournaments together, and it's a lot of planning involved in that kind of stuff because I did it strictly through social media, and
Hmm.
and to be honest with you, a lot of the participants that participated in the kickball games, I
Hmm.
I don't know personally.
Hmm.
And I think that some of it just have to know that people learn you through social media. This platform is a big deal, and
Hmm.
people learn who you are by how you present yourself.
Hmm.
And I try my best to make sure I give people the best version of me.
Hmm.
Right? I don't have to sugarcoat anything. Who I am is who I am.
Hmm.
I like to genuinely do things for people. And I felt like, with this small town of Farmville, it needs a reboot, a rebirth, And I just thought something simple as a kickball game, putting it in that small town would be big, and it was. Once I did the first one, I think I had like 60 people to volunteer to come out and play.
Hmm.
I had people to referee. I had people to come out and help cook on the grill, and it was a good event. And after I did the first one, it got a lot of traction, feedback, and the community forced me to do. They kind of forced me to do another one. They kind of put the pressure on me to do another one, so I did another one, and the second one I did was basically to help raise money for the elementary school HB Subs in Farmville. So
Hmm.
the first one I did, there was no charge to anybody. No one, everybody just came out, had a good time, food, everything was free. The second one I understood that the school at HB Subs was needed some help, with raising money to try to support that school to keep it. That's a school I went to. A lot of people in our community went to that school, so it's a big deal for us to try to keep that school up and operating and reopening and operating the way that we know it, the way we know it. So I kind of partnered with them, so to speak, to help raise money. So the second kickball tournament we did, we the community helped raise money through the kickball tournament to give back to the school. So I thought it
And
was a big deal.
you know Roberta Flack? Roberta Flack, she taught at that school, and you were just talking about raising money, and I mean, I would just like to say to anybody who actually get a chance to see this podcast, um, what you just said, I wanted to reach as many people who can help,
Right.
provide financial support to that project at HB Subs because there's such a need. That's a historical landmark,
Oh yes.
and we want to preserve it. So for anybody who gets a chance to, see this podcast and you can contribute, you know, um, you can email us here at Track Talk Sports, Mr. Tricky, Finch, he has an email. We can get it to you, but any type of help you want to provide for that historical um, school that's here in there in Farmville, please um,
Right.
do what
Absolutely.
you can. Do what you can. And I understand you have an academy for the youth. You're in the process of
Yes,
getting
sir.
get
Yes,
going.
sir. Yeah. What I yeah, but like my future endeavors is I have a nonprofit that's in the making. I have everything besides my tax exemptions. I'm waiting on that to make it 100% official. But it's called Tricky's Real Life Leadership Institute.
Uh-huh.
And what it is basically, like I said, I served 20 years in the service, and I got a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to discipline and being responsible and things of that nature. A lot of things that our young men are missing. There's core values that our young men I think are missing out here in walking these streets. And so the institute is basically something that I put together throughout my life experience as growing up as a young man from the projects and
Mhm.
trying to put those I don't want to say downfalls or shortcomings because at that age you don't know any better, coming from a place like that to join the military and trying to figure things out, trying to learn myself as a man and growing up really fast in the
Uh-huh.
service. And I learned a lot of things when it comes to being disciplined and leadership and stuff like that. I also been a college, a high school, and a middle school ROTC instructor.
Hmm.
Um, I was an ROTC instructor at Virginia Military Institute in Virginia, and I was a high school and middle school ROTC instructor at a Legacy Preparatory Charter Academy in Mesquite, Texas. So I basically just 20 years of service, ROTC life, and I accumulated all these things together and try to perform and try to circumvent my own program. And basically, the program is going to be for right now. It's going to start with young boys from the age of 13 to 18. Basically, just giving them a place to come to learn.
Hmm.
Um, the classroom is going to it's classroom environment. It's going to be also physical fitness. The kids will meet 3 times a week and for a couple hours, and we're just going to talk about life. We're going to talk about gang violence. We'll talk about drug use. We'll talk about how to tie a tie, appropriate civilian attire. We have different career paths to come in and speak to them, like military or Fortune 500 CEOs and just give them a plat so they'll know that there's more than one way than what we've always been taught, which is go to school, go to college. There's entrepreneurship, so there's a lot of different paths that you have that may not be presented to these kids because we're in a system where we're somewhat we're somewhat programmed to think that, hey, this is the way we have to do things, but there is an alternative way to still be successful, and you don't have to. It's not a one-trick pony. So the program is just there for these young kids that may not have the right background. Maybe no one's teaching them anything like this, or maybe they haven't heard it before, and maybe I can be that voice of reasoning, and maybe be able to spark a flame, and this kid can go from this way to this way. And if I can get one, then I've done my job. So that's what the program is all about. Like I said, it's in the making now. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to get some backing as far as finding buildings, locating buildings to be able to execute what I have. The program is already, it's ready to go already. I have all the course critiques. I got all the scheduling. I got all the things that most people try to, the hardest part. Now, for me, the hardest part is trying to find a location to actually present it in. So once I find a location and everything, and all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, I'll be able to get this information because I can't hold it. I can't hold it. It does me no good. So I can be able to get this information to these kids, and maybe they can do something with it.
Right. Mm-hmm. What are the reasons you like being
Part of a team?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good question, and that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I think the value of being on a team is the sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I don't think a person will understand the magnitude of just being a part of something such as a team because you don't know people's story, you don't know people's background. Because I can guarantee you there's a kid right now that's on a team who may not be the best player on that team. He may not even get a lot of playing time. He may not even get on the court or on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
But the value of having those teammates around him to support him and feeling like he belonged there is more valuable than any playing time that there is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think the value of being on a team is just a sense of belonging, that you belong to something, you're a part of something, and people can bring you in because it could just be a lack of confidence. Being on a
Mm-hmm.
team could boost a person's confidence, and it may not be in that moment of being on that team. The fact that they're on that team and getting that understanding of what it is to be able to, uh, get everybody's thoughts together, being on a team is more valuable because you can take that to your next adventure in life, those
Right.
experiences. So it's a lot of value in being on a team. You learn a lot about personalities, and all these things are life lessons.
Yes.
They're life lessons, you
Absolutely.
know, because at some point you're gonna be in charge of something, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be able to reflect. You have to be able to reflect on, okay, I mean, when I was on this team, this is how I saw my coach, or this is how I saw my teammates handle certain situations. So you have that in your pocket to pull out whenever you need it. So
And it's valuable. Like you said, it's valuable. Very
absolutely.
valuable. What is the best part about competing?
Ah, the best part about competing, I think, is to learn more about you
Mm-hmm.
and where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
um, the more you compete, even on basketball life, the more you compete, the more you show yourself, the more you know where you stand at in the pecking order. If you know where you're at, if you how much work you have to do. The thrill of competing is amazing.
It is.
I remember Friday night game night and being able to go out and compete against other teams in basketball. Oh my God, the feeling that just the
adrenaline.
Yeah. It's just something different, and it's kind of it's like it can't be taught. It's one of those things, especially if you're passionate about what you're competing about. It just makes it that more intriguing. But there's something to be said about competing, and we all compete. We compete with each other. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's good competition, and sometimes we can make competing be a negative thing. But I think if you always have the right mindset and the of doing the right thing while you're competing, it'll always be good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it tests you. It's a test. It's just a
Yeah. Oh
test.
yes. It
You
does
know,
test.
it's a test that just like life. Life tests you. You
Oh
know,
yes.
and you learn how to win.
Oh yeah. You learn how to win. You have no other choice. Yep.
And that's what I like about just sports and the conditioning and getting your mind and your body working
Right.
together. And it's a beautiful thing,
It
you know.
is.
And that's why you have so many people who play sports, the different sports, basketball, football, baseball, tennis. It's just it drives you.
Oh
Ability
yes.
you would have never known you had.
Right. Absolutely.
Sometimes you just feel like you want to quit,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but then something inside, deep inside, just says, uh-uh,
Yeah.
no quitting. Or you have
Right.
or you
Right.
have a coach who just pushes you because you can go a lot farther, you know.
Right.
And that's a valuable
Oh,
thing,
absolutely.
you know.
Because a lot of times, other people see some traits in you that you may not even know you have yourself. And
Mhm.
they'll push you, and once you be like, oh man, you know what? This is kind of easier than what I thought it was. Or you know what? I ain't really think I could do something like that.
Right.
So it happens to us, especially when we're really young and gullible, and
Hmm.
and we have people thinking for us sometimes. We have people out there, at a young age that kind of think for us and kind of help us and guide us, and they can
Right.
put us in positions to and some people have a knack for putting you in a position to be successful. And that's something that I think you can't be taught. Some people are just here to to and just have this thing about them to know what they have to do and what buttons they have to push to get
Hmm.
the best out of you and make you successful. And
Hmm.
some people have that.
Yeah. Um, what emotions do you feel when you play well?
Oh man, when I played well, the emotions I felt was just joy. Well, I'll tell you, at 18, my emotions are probably a bit more is different than now. At 18, it was more of I'm better than you, or that, because you kind of immature, you don't really know a lot. But
Right.
man, I was just being joyful,
Hmm.
and oh man, that's yeah, being joyful, man. I think that has to be my answer.
Hmm. And I agree with you. Though I mean, the emotions they stem so deep, you know, and you just want to just put yourself out there,
Yeah,
where you can help somebody else.
absolutely.
I mean, you just want to share. You want to share those emotions, and people, and like you said, people. I mean, you're on the stage performing.
You're
You
absolutely
know,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. You are
it has an effect on not just yourself, but
right,
people that's out there, watching you, enjoying
right.
your talent. You know, I mean, they can go home, they know your name,
You're right.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they go home, they're talking about you, and you get a lot of attention, and it makes you feel like it's worth,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
of the hard work, of the
Right.
coaching, that's been put in you. And that's
Right.
what we do. We actually build each other up.
Yeah. Yep. Emotions are big. Emotions are big. They emotions tell a story.
Yeah.
Emotions tell a story. Um, whether they're positive emotions or negative emotions, you can always tell. You can tell where a person is in their
Hmm.
life
Yeah.
just by their emotions. If you walk into a room and you don't know
Yeah.
what happened previously, or you walk
Hmm.
into a room and depending on a person's emotions, they can kind of tell you their story or tell you their life without even
Hmm.
having a real conversation with them.
Yeah.
So in sports, emotionally, like losing is a then in a losing
Right.
game, you know. But I think maturity conquers because if a mature person that falls short, emotions,
Hmm.
they can channel their emotions. They can
Right.
channel their emotions. You may not be able to know if they won or lost. You know,
Hmm.
so maturity, I think, plays a part in emotions as well. So that's why I said at 18, me is a whole different than me now emotions because I might lose now or fall short now. And you won't even know. You probably thought I won. Might thought I won. you know, it's different. So
Yeah. Yes. And that's what life, that's what sport teaches you.
absolutely,
Teach you about all of these emotions and different things like that. You learn how to handle, a lot of these life situations
oh yes,
as you have, and even myself, sports have done, so much for me, and that's what the show is pretty much, all about.
right,
It's not just sports, but more, you
yeah,
know, and it's all things sports.
right. Yeah, I mean, sports is a big deal because um, some of us look forward to these seasons so
Hmm.
much, and I'll say some of us, including myself.
Hmm.
It just gives you a whole different feel. Like right now, like I know football season is approaching,
Hmm.
and I am so ecstatic. I can't wait because football season puts
Hmm.
me in a whole different
Right.
headspace. Just
Hmm.
to just to see my team every Sunday for like 17, 18 weeks,
Hmm.
and emotions. I'm at I don't miss a game. Let me tell you something, Mr. Willie. I haven't missed a Buffalo Bills football game in probably 16, 17 years.
Mm.
And
That's amazing.
I'm talking about being in different countries,
Uh-huh.
being in different places.
Hmm.
I'll find a way to
Hmm.
watch my Buffalo Bills play. I will find a way to I don't miss it. And I hope and pray that there's no drastic situation that has to occur when my
Right.
Buffalo Bills are playing, because now I gotta make a decision.
Right. And
no, but
yeah, that's a fan.
right,
You played the sport. You're a fan of the sport. And there's so many others who play, like I said earlier, the different sports, and they're
right.
fans. They're, as they say, die hard.
Die hard. That's right.
You know, you know. But I really enjoy, having you on Track Talk Sports.
Oh yes.
This has been a good conversation.
Oh yes. I enjoyed being here. I enjoy this. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. These are the type of things that our community needs. We
Hmm.
um we
Yeah.
need these type of outlets. So I applaud you for for us making this happen, and the fact that that I'll be able to be a part of this because this is going to be I'm not sure how long you've been.
Hmm.
This is going to be a big deal. It's just a matter of people catching wind of it.
Well, this is actually my second podcast show.
Nice,
So we have a long way to go. I'm
nice.
excited. I'm excited about it. Even having you as my second guest, we'll mark that on the calendar.
Oh yes. And hey,
You know,
this won't be my last time. This won't be my last time. We're
right?
gonna we're gonna compare. Interview with the one later.
And, and the whole thing is, it doesn't stop.
Right.
because we will have you on again and again and again.
Right.
you know, because we all, we have something to share. We have something to
Right.
say. You know, so
This is
uh, it's not. Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was just going to elaborate on how much this is going to be a big. Sometimes things and this because this is needed. Like
Mhm.
so it's almost like you find a need and then you're just going to capitalize off the need and because and capitalizing meaning giving the people something to look forward to,
Right.
and be able to know that hey, Mr. Willis show is going to be on tonight or whatever the case may be, or it's going to be streaming or it's going to be live or whatever the case may be, and people look forward to doing that, and it's going to be a positive thing. So you're giving somebody whether it's an hour or something positive.
Well, I want it to be like, just like you're a fan of Buffalo Bills.
Right,
I want them to be excited
right.
to tune in. Yeah, I want them to be just as excited about Track Talk Sports to say, "Hey, I got to see Track
Gotta
Talk
see it.
Sports this evening."
That's right.
you know, but with that, as we part, like I said, it's not just sports, but more.
Right.
It's all things good.
All things are good, and like you said, sports can drive you, whether you go, no matter how far that you go,
Mhm.
in sports, but just getting that initial taste of it, of being
Right.
of being a part of a team, being a part of something successful, just getting that at an early age will definitely those times will definitely guide you in
Mhm.
certain directions and give you the tools to be successful at such a young age. So um, I love the concept of track talk sports. Like you said, it's not about just sports, but it's more so how have sports helped you
Right.
become whether how successful you are or where you're at in your life. So it is a big deal, and I think the initial time when you presented it to me,
Mhm.
I understood it. I understood it, but now I really understand
Uh-huh.
the vision that you have. So so like I said, I commend you, and
Thank you.
I appreciate you doing this for us, and
Mhm.
having me on to be a part of your early footage.
Right.
So again, I appreciate it, the opportunity.
Well, again, I thank you for being here, and we'll stay in touch, and
Right.
we'll look forward to having you back on
All right.
soon.
All right. I appreciate it.
Mhm.